That's what's got to be running through all of these teams' minds. Will the pressure get to them? Will they buckle under it, or will they be able to turn into diamonds and deliver some championship level performances here in the last few games of the day? Because we have reached that halfway mark. Final Erangel, then we have 2 Miramars, and then it is all said and done. Plain path here, Blank, could cause some problems as we get into it.
Yeah, honestly, this is a struggle bus for them. Incos thinking to themselves, don't go to Nova up Noya. Don't go to Nova up Noya. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. IHC is going to be there, going to take us down. But some of the other teams trying to get in towards the lobby. DX head out early on over towards Lipovka. Great game from them on that last one. Really representing their region extremely well on that side. I think that it's nice to see a team who is so consistently good at a map that you know that if they get themselves towards an end game, it's likely going to be a chicken dinner for them. And I think that DX in that sense, probably one of the best squads in the lobby that definitely deserves to head in towards that PMGC Grand Finals. I think me and you, we're just definitely so biased towards the Indo squads though, right? You know, I think we'd love to see
the level of competition we've been seeing from them. It looks sick. I think regionally we've done so well in terms of kind of putting a spotlight on the brightest sparks from all of our regions. Brazil has looked unbelievable throughout the entire competition, right? And Influence Rage, they still have that potential to be another Brazilian squad, another member of the LATAM Massive that makes it to those finals and gives that nation another team to root for, to fly the flag for. Same can be said with what we've been seeing from South. HC are 1 point ahead right now. So the Mongolian team that are so bloody good when it comes to fighting, when it comes to scrapping, just need to get themselves some more
chance to us. We promise. And Big Milo gets hit out by the AKM, and Team Queso don't really have a response here. In comes the cleanup crew. The ambulance has arrived.
Oh, the sirens blaring. Oh, call an ambulance, Blank, but not for brute force. As Queso take damage and they start to slip quite quickly. The 2-tap turn around.
Alliance overlapping on Team Queso, barring some crazy maneuvers over on that eastern side of the map. Udo Alliance currently in Milta Power over towards Milta. BTR is playing. Reject holding strong.
Brute force. You found those early openers for free, but what more can they get?
Back of getting some decent placements on the look side of things. In terms of look, that's not what's the case for Gladiators. This has just been this has not been PMGC play, I would say.
No, you haven't been up to the bar, right? And I think especially just with how big the skill ceiling has been for our average teams here, you've been falling short. You know,
phenomenal, really strong central positions, central plays, but not to be anymore. Team Queso down to 1 player now, 1 elimination found on the match, and their spot is looking precarious. 60 points at the start of the day felt like such a boon to these teams towards the top side of the lobby, but now only 15 points realistically have been gained in this top side of the lot of them. You know, FaZe up to 75 with their initial 60 points on the day. So many teams underneath have just been battling tooth and nail to get towards that top side of the lobby, just clambering up what seems to be an unscalable cliff. Nice shots from Papi Potro, but it's not enough as Team Queso will be wiped out of the 16th place, and we're barely in stage 2.
early fights. And potentially an early end to a storyline there. As you've now given yourself opportunity for teams to lap you a little bit. So they could be falling 1 game behind, Blank. That's the scary part. I suppose we do wonder then. You do Alliance, IHC, Influence Rage, even Duxan, all of them. So close on points. How do they play? How's the infighting go amongst those 4 squads? And who is gunning for that 5th spot? Can anyone overtake in this lobby now off the back of this game? We'll keep you updated with that. We'll measure how things go. But that is a rough first squad to lose. That's going to deal some damage to the standings and potentially cause a bit of an upset. Rook on the move here as well. Long range. Default was further ahead. He was playing for Info. IHC here. How do they always know where Reject Tokyo are? I swear, like, they've got some sort of app that tells them where rejects are. And right now it is blaring. It's going... boop, 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 boop.
Yeah. We got the old Alien Isolation vibe going on for reject instead. And honestly, the movement sense out for rejects, they feel like they kind of do need to have eyes in the back of their heads to spot out where these players are coming from. Constant backstabs here. Kevlar not in the front, but in the back for this team. Circus, you can see, did move up towards that northern edge. FaZe takes a lineup across the top of Everest. Pretty typical rotation for Procedure Evos as well, holding on this eastern side. And Inco, once again, this is very Inco of them. Just send to a central compound. Sit in it.
Classic moves. Vintage stuff as they set themselves up. What will they get done, though? That's the big question. Evos that are inside of the vehicles, basically just following Influence Rage now, seeing if you can kind of pen them in. This is like the sheepdog play. And you get all the sheep rounded up and try and pen them in somewhere so you can convert those sheep into points. Redface looking for the contact here further back. This is the opportunity they've been waiting for, bombarding into the vehicle. Nice trace there, Blank. Redface, he's been good with a gun skill, and the shotties up close are singing sweet nothings. Beautiful plays from Evos. They're looking really good mechanically.
Yeah, Lynx, what a good couple of shots coming through from the DBS onto Influence Rage. Remember, this is a team that we touted to have some of the best gun skill in the lobby, but Procedure Evos are just having such a favorite today, and they have really lit up in terms of members. And I think, honestly, I prefer to see Procedure Evos not get that direct invite to the grand finals from their group stage, purely just off the back of the fact that I think Survival Stage and Last Chance has honed this team to a point, right? And I think when they do go to the grand finals itself, which I imagine they will do with the way they're currently playing, they'll look like such a better team if they didn't just get into that top 3 at start of things. So I think this has been a bit of a curse and a blessing for Procedure Evos, because they've had to play ever so hard to get in towards that grand finals. However, this is just going to make them look so much better when they get there.
No, it's a really good point you bring up there, right? Because it's just more games. It's more games you've been able to play. Less jitters you're going to have when you're on the big stage. So yeah, definitely had more time to kind of iron out any issues back on LAN. Landing some shots though was Zerich as he comes in like a sledgehammer on the reject Tokyo. And the sad thing is that probably is the final nail in the coffin, being smacked in for him as well off the back of the play from Madballs. Yeah, going out 12. It really is a bit of a rough spot here in terms of the overall standings of where they're stuck down, because you're just not going to get any points. And although it's only a couple points to move up to close the gap between the squads above you, you have no chance to gain any now. And you leave yourself with only 2 more games to be played. So it's a sad state of affairs for the Japanese squad that have always been on the tail end of things, always riding on the coattails and looking like they're close, but no cigar on this one, Blank.
Yeah, just cannot quite chase up to them. Next circle shifts here. You can see it where Madballs have a fairly decent position to play around with Gladiators. This is just a last hurrah for them, realistically. Moves up to where Federal is playing. Currently has a nade in hand, tosses it through. Gladiators look to him off. Federal finds the first hit and will take down the second. And the Gladiators' entire tournament's been going here on Oracle would just secure their position, right? Really lock them in.
Yeah, it would give them more safety. Hello. Scoped assassin coming out though. Ducksam peppering bullets on the distance as we're seeing some knocks being found. Nigma Galaxy holding strong versus Rook that want to rock the boat. Pulled up to the compound, looking to clutch this one out of the hands of Rook. Okay, trades either side. Ooh, really low HP as well, but still standing, Blank. Kind of blessed with divine intervention on that one. You've got a sliver of health, and they find their way through it. Weathering TR barely surviving as there is shrapnel all over the shop. Difference is IHC have got such good positions. You've got the high ground here. You've got a nice angle to work with. You can peek from the rocks. You can peek from the top of the roof. Alex has got cover to play with. You push up on him. BTR have is these smokes, and smokes aren't going to last forever, but they might get smoked literally. You do Alliance, they were debating this, Blank, but it seems like they do want a third party.
Yeah, for you to Alliance, they've been keeping tabs on pretty much everyone in the lobby. They had a really big split over towards that eastern side. They could hear the fighting coming in from the north or the south. They smell it out down towards the south side and look to just bombard over towards BTR. And right now, we're not getting those tag markers, makes it difficult to ascertain exactly where these players are. And with Cluck already falling, that's not the greatest of starts. Luckily, Ollie, the main man from the team, does actually find at least something. Only one player now remains from BTR on the other side of things with the DPS. Iftar takes a big steps up and Demo will finish the job.
Mela gets contact onto him and finds the final knocking blow to take Brute Force down as they are out of the mix. So another squad gone now, Blank. Dropping numbers quite a lot here, as we've already been able to find 6 squads out of this one.
For Inco, you know what? All respect to them. Make a decent rotate inward. Sort of create themselves impromptu compound alongside with the vehicles that they set in this position. But they're not going anywhere else after this. They're stopping off at this point. Duxan finally makes a rotate. What a pump out the vehicle, but Demo with a seriously good spree of shots will take down 2 from Duxan, and Demo will finish them off the back of that one. 2 play live with just Binny for Duxan themselves. This could have been the game for their tournament run, but it comes in just a little bit too late. Binny low, Alex on the outside, absolute demon when it comes to the gun skill.
Oh yeah, Alex goes off. Alex the Annihilator is what they should call him, Blank. Whoa, right in the face. Point blank punishment. As he will say goodbye to Duxan, denying the dominance from South Korea, as he does not want to allow them to get momentum. And that's a big play. It's a nice assault from IHC. And remember, the key fact that we were looking at was those 3 squads, Udo Alliance, IHC, Influence Rage, they were all toe-to-toe on top of each other. Hell, even Duxan were right in the mix there. So that's 4 squads that could have lapped one another. With IHC got 5 elims and look to really climb the ranks, Udo Alliance have to give a great test of themselves to deny that being a possibility, as they are neck and neck at the minute.
Yeah, fighting toe-to-toe one another at this point in time, but IHC no stranger to the cage match, because it's felt like they've spent their entire time just doing jiu-jitsu versus a lot of these other teams. Inco currently towards that central arena. Circle moved up towards that on the northern edge alongside with the Mad Bulls. It's FaZe attempting to get through this fielded area, but it's not looking likely.
FaZe, down they go. Nigma Galaxy, you know, even if they don't make it back into the safety net, they are at least being the reaper of the server, constantly swinging that scythe and just taking down some important teams, stopping them from being able to gain as many points as they would possibly want. So right now, it seems almost like it is just aggression from Nigma Galaxy to stop these top squads. That's the mission quite nicely for them. Udo Alliance knocked from coast to coast as they look for an opportunity to try and pry their way into this. IHC on one side, closely grouped with Nigma Galaxy there. Off to the other, you've got DX. They have an entire smoke wall barring them down the middle. Alex jumps in the here with Udo Alliance, and they're just sneaking up on him, staying close in the smoke, looking for the first fight. Evos are there as well, Blank. So this could be a hefty clash here. A lot of teams on top of one another.
Lots of shots coming through. Inco finds a shot over towards the Mad Bulls as well, and will finish off Zerich in the process. Inco up to 5 eliminations on this map. Nigma Galaxy, they see the smoke train. They're sending the nade for them. Players from Mad Bulls still trying to keep things going though. A nice nade over towards Inco. Will at least find a couple, but it's Nenebeche with this off angle doing so much work for the rest of the team. Vitali is down, but the same could be said very much so for the Mad Bulls, losing players here and there, but it's free from topside. Spots out towards Nenebeche. Good shots can come through. Frozen taking punishment from afar. Has to get away from the vehicle before it explodes, but Squash will find it.
Squash trying to flatten anything the Mad Bulls can bring to the table here. Redface, always so good at just scanning the horizon and looking for any firefights where he feels like he can steal points. And again here, that's what he's going to be building into. Enigma Galaxy, another one, as they backstab that Zinco that are being pulled apart from either side, losing a lot of their manpower, starting to buckle under the pressure. I don't really know if you can reset from this now. At Mad Bulls, they've got you all penned in, they've got you trapped, and you're being blasted from both barrels, from the front and the rear here, with Enigma Galaxy having the hillside control as well. Enigma that might actually have let it slip a little bit. So tunnel-visioned on fighting in towards Zinco. Evos from all the way over here, find a few pot shots to connect onto one player and get a knock-in for free.
Yeah, some great shots coming inside the map towards cheeky peeks coming through from the Mad Bulls, but both players on a lick of HP. No first aid kits to work with. The blue slowly consuming them too. Enigma Galaxy realizes, you know what? It's time to go. We can't sit on this side for too long. In comes Coops behind the tree. Doesn't know that Mad Bulls are also here. Happy to get the free elimination point off the back of this one if they can hit their shots.
Oh, Tulika. He's hitting some big licks as he will strike down another man. Low on HP. But still standing, still waiting. They're lining up, they're doubling up, potentially giving away a free collateral if the damage is there from Rafa. Burns onto the first, easy spray. Converts it onto the seconds. Mad Bulls, they've seen red, but they're left down in the dirt now as they're gone. Enigma Galaxy, pressure applied, up close, want to swoop in and strike on Inco. They're burning, the Molotovs spreading, the pressure being applied, everyone being sent off to the Burns ward, and Evo's third partying onto it to grab some of the points as well.
Fair play to Inco, honestly, they've really held down this position so amazingly well. It's a really tough spot to hold on to as well, where so many teams are taking shots at you. Luckily, the sightlines from that eastern side, which is all starting to pop off now, it's Procedure Evo, DX, Udo Alliance, all unbelievably big behemoths inside of this lobby, looking to go head to head. Procedure Evos takes a lot of damage on their approach in, but they get the smoke train over towards this spot, and Lynx is moving forward. Will have to hit a first aid kit quite low. Can't quite take down all three players by himself, I'd imagine, but for Procedure Evos, this is a massive test of strength for them.
Oh, it is indeed. You're going to need to have that extra 20%. You got to go bigger, you got to go brighter and really deal some damage in a spot like this. Everyone scrapping for control of the compounds. Evos, they've pulled up to the scene, they're ready for it. Meanwhile, Udo Alliance in some interesting angles, scanning the scenes. Look at him up on top of the roof, ready to make a ruckus. The nades could be huge, but he's only got the one. Throws away worth its weight in gold. Instead, he sets his focus on playing with a team.
It's a cheeky play. This really doesn't benefit anyone. Circle heading down towards the southern edge. You know what? There might be a chance for Inco. They get a big reset on the loot there, collecting all the death crates that they can from this northern edge from the guys on Enigma Galaxy. Now look to hold towards the south hilltop. And all these other teams thinking that they chose the best position in the lobby, suddenly struggling just a little bit more. Nice shot though. Will take down Rafa. Rafa goes in, will explode the vehicle himself, but takes down Squash in the process. I can't imagine if you're too happy about this. If Inco goes down in 4th place, yes, you get the eliminations, but 4th place doesn't afford you a huge amount of placement points for your troubles.
It doesn't at all. Then at the minute, you can see everyone realizes just how risky it is to kick off the fight, to be the first domino to fall. Any mistakes made will cost you dearly. Evos playing around the contact. They thought they had the gap here to go for the crossover. Instead, it's Udo Alliance to bombard down. Clean connection, instantly converted into a full point from that Play zone coming in as well. Redface being murked by that. Misery and Luxy, the only two really left standing to do much of anything here. Misery plays on the off angle, close towards the building. Whoa, nice shots here. Big Ags starting to put the pressure on. Quick switch to the DBS as well. He was ready for the contact. Near miss between the both of them. Diving through the smoke and applying the pressure. Looks to swing on in. Immediately through the smoke. Hits the first blank and he's still standing.
Swinging round, S12K comes out. Almost felt like you had it for Misery, but it's Olio. Quick swing up towards the top side. Now versus DX. Down a man. Zone 9 starting to close in. The final one to hit. Will pick up Cluck in the process. Knows he needs his buddy to get those team shots off over towards DX, but they got the high ground, and Udo Alliance realized this was their best hope. Take down Inco. Take down the rest of DX.
And that's what they've got to do. They've got to find these pickups. They've got to connect these shots. Smoke wall thrown down. They know the location of Levi's. They saw him peeking from behind the tree, but might be barking up the wrong tree on this one blank. You're outnumbered. You're outgunned. You're stuck on the hill eating nades, but it doesn't matter as the AK slays onto the first trade back. It all falls onto Cluck. So low on health and finished off by who else but Chow as he'll connect that one and DX steal away the chicken dinner.
And for DX, another big chicken dinner like that. That right there